Hello, welcome to the 510 Naps channel. I'm Inyota. My friends call me Starr Koya of Hair Today, Hair Tomorrow, and I'm not only the founder, but I'm also a client. I learned a long time ago that I'm my best advertisement. My mom told me when I first started doing hair 3.5 decades ago, girl, you're a walking advertisement for your business. And today I'm here to tell you about my products, Hair, Skin, Vittles, Gourmet Products, LLC. About 10 years ago, I had a light bulb moment and I decided to stop mixing the over-the-counter products that I have been using together and start researching the ingredients one by one to find out what it was I really liked about the products I was using. And I was using them not only on myself, but also on my friends, my family, my clients, my daughter. And as a child, if I learned anything from my mom, it was to do research. When we were kids, my sisters and I had to use this book my mom brought us called Tell Me Why. She didn't want us coming to her asking her any questions if we could find it in this Tell Me Why book. So I'm telling you, by the time we finished researching, that book was spineless. So I love to get to the meat of any subject. And after countless hours of study, I'm very pleased to offer my very own products that deliver what I promise. So this clip, it will briefly recap my no-poo post-poo as a pre-poo conditioning treatment and the 5-star solid shampoo cakes. My shampoo cakes are 100% veggie glycerin, coconut oil based, so if you're allergic to nuts, you won't be able to use my coconut-based products. But they are biodegradable cakes, and they're infused with many products and ingredients that do the job, such as cocoa powder, shea butter, shea oil, cocoa butter, coffee grains, palm kernel, olive oil, cornstarch, honey powder, grasshopper clay, baking soda, rice bran, citric acid, soy milk, licorice, horsetail, coltsfoot, rose, lavender, clove, nutmeg, cinnamon, vanilla, rose hips, onion, mustard, ginger, garlic, calendula, nettle, pepper, hibiscus, yarrow, buckhorn, broccoli, carrot, dandelion, fennel, burdock, neem, foti, alfalfa, and passion flowers. Sounds like a cake, huh? And it is. My shampoo cakes are wonderful. Let me tell you what you need to do a shampoo. First of all, I'm wearing a t-shirt on my head. And a t-shirt works really good for catching the drips after you finish your shampoo. You just place the big part, the bottom of the t-shirt over your hair, twist it around, find a little end, and put it over the big knot. If you wound up with a big knot and you don't have a lot of hair, just fold either the sleeve over it or a piece of the t-shirt over it so it can stay on your hair. It doesn't have to be tight, but it'll catch all the drips without you taking your hair back to the state that it was before you pre-pooed. Also, you can use a little towel for your head. These are usually microfiber so that your hair doesn't get caught in it. You twist it around. It's not what it looks like. And you bring it over, and there's usually a little button here that you can connect that right there too. Now, I'm going to tell you, when you are pre-pooing, you're going to use my no poo, post poo conditioner as your pre-poo. This is a conditioning cream. I showed you in another video. You may find it if you haven't seen it. You're going to put the conditioner on your hair and slather it through. You've sectioned your hair as much as you can with your fingers, and I'm going to take this section of loose and I'm going to show you exactly what you do. So you will take your conditioner, you have your hair sectioned either in 2 to 4 sections. I have mine in 4 because it's a little shorter to go in 2. And you will slather the conditioner, squeeze it through, let it sit, do your next section, do the same thing, squeeze it through, let it sit. 4 if you have 4, 2 if you have 2, and then what you're going to do is you're going to run your fingers through it really well if you can. If not, just let it sit. Now, after you've let it sit on your hair, then what you're going to do is you're going to start with your first section that you saturated and squeeze it through a little more, and then you're going to take your wide tooth comb and you're going to go through your hair a section at a time. After you shampoo, you're going to, if it's nice and clean, this is your first or second shampoo, you're going to braid it back up. Oh, this is after. You're going to spray it with the leave-in, rose and aloe. Spray it really well. And if it still feels a little tangled and you can't run your fingers through it, let it sit and saturate. Then you're going to comb it through, section at a time, very gently. Don't pull on your hair because you're trying to get very little to no hair in your comb. Take it and braid your section again. You don't have to braid it tight. You can braid it gentle. Now, if you're letting your hair air dry, that's fine. Take your t-shirt. If your hair is long or it's really porous and it's dripping, use a t-shirt. If it's medium porous, you don't need it. You just put your, don't forget, this is not what it looks like. And take your towel, microfiber towel, and put it on there, your headpiece. That's like a headpiece. If you don't, you can take your towel and wrap it around and let it dry like that, and it'll absorb some of the water. Now I'm going to tell you about my shampoo bars. My 5-star solid shampoo cakes consist of the ingredients that I mentioned, and one of my premier mask shampoo bar is the conditioning hair mask. This is made with grassul clay. It's coined after my namesake, and this is the small version of the Starr bar, and I also have a larger one that can be used for your locks and for your children's hair if they're above 9, and for adults' hair as a deep conditioning mask once a month. I don't suggest that you use this more than once a month because it does contain grassul clay and some other pertinent ingredients that will soften your hair, such as a texturizer would do without the chemicals. It's a great bar. This is a premier bar. This is what I use in the salon when my clients want their press to last long, but they don't want to change the texture to the point where they cannot wear it natural, but they want to soften it enough so that it's manageable and that their press will last good for at least 2 weeks. And if they come back in 2 weeks, then I will use another cake on them, which I'm going to discuss very shortly. This one here is my coffee bar, and it's a massage bar. And this is an excellent bar. It has the nubs on it for massage, which is great for my clients that love locks. And on the back, As you can see, I have full-fledged coffee beans in it, which can also be used as the massage mechanism on the bar. When these melt away, because my glycerin bars are so soft that they are going to melt away. They do not contain lye, like a lot of the soaps on the market contain lye, which is relaxer. No, mine do not. They are all 100% veggie glycerin. So this is a natural bar, and my clients that have locks, they love it because the nubbiness on the bar allows them to massage their scalp where they can't put their fingers through. So it does a lot of the work for them. It's a wonderful bar. I also have a chocolate bar. Now, you cannot eat it, but it's a wonderful bar. And just like the coffee bar, it's super moisturizing. So it looks ashy, but after you wet it, the ashiness goes away. That's because it's 100% pure chocolate. And if you've seen chocolate, it kind of looks like that. You know, it has that little gray appearance. That's the chocolate that the bar is infused with. And it's a wonderful moisturizing bar. I also have my flower blossom bar, which is a great bar. I love this bar. And where you see that line, that's where the roses, they rise to the top, and they leave a beautiful color there on top of the bar. And the rest of the infusion changes the bar to a slightly orangish yellow color, because the infusion and the properties of the roses are throughout, and it softens your hair. This is a great bar for women with gray hair, or women who have come out of chemotherapy, or you take any other kind of medication that may make your hair hard, or your hair is just brittle from being out in the sun. That's a great bar to soften your hair and bring it back. Along with my aloe rose leave-in conditioner. That combination will bring your hair back from anything. Now, I've already cut this. This is my velvet cake, which is the cake that I use in between the hair mask. And what this does is it helps maintain that softness that hair mask used. And this one contains a little bit of baking soda, which I noticed. I made this bar with my clients in mind that love to use their N.A.P.S baking soda, and I noticed that it would dry their scalp out. It would leave this white film, ashy, crumbly looking aftermath on their scalp when they just used that baking soda and rubbed it all over and left it and weren't rinsing it out good, or I don't know what was going on, but it was very abrasive. So I decided to come up with the right ingredient and amount to put into my velvet cake. And it softens the hair. It leaves it very nice, and it's a treatment bar, but it also helps to keep you from wanting to use the baking soda more frequently than necessary in large amounts. So if you like to do a baking soda treatment, this cake is definitely for you. Otherwise, I recommend it for conditioning in between the hair mask every 2 weeks. So you use the mask once a month, and then the other 3 weeks you will use the velvet cake. This is my favorite cake, especially I just did a henna on my hair, and after the henna, my hair, it has a tendency to dry out, even though it does a lot of other good things, and I have to bring it back. So it takes a couple of shampoos, and this is my in-between bar that I use. And I always start out by exfoliating my scalp and everything with that grasshopper clay mask cake before I do my henna too. So it's a little drying, but you know, it does the job, and it keeps a balance once I use that velvet cake. Now my spice cake, this is to encourage stimulation on the scalp. It's a very dark bar. It has several spices in it. This has more spices than any of my other bars, and the infusion is very, very concentrated. And